Hey everyone, we are back in the little shop of hoarders in the PDX Picker channel. My name is Chris. I see my dog out of the corner of my eye. She's probably going to bark any second. We got some orders that have sold for me on eBay and Poshmark. Yay, Poshmark is back in the mix now that I'm back from vacation and I have my Poshmark closet turned back on. Finally had an order. It's been 5 days, I think, before that first order showed up. So it took a little bit of time, but hopefully we will continue to get more and more Poshmark orders. Let's go ahead and pull a few eBay orders, and I gotta tell you, a really crazy eBay story. It was an item that I listed, and it just kind of blew me away the reaction I got from buyers. So stick around. You want to hear this here in a little bit. First item that sold for me. I bought this lot. Do any of you follow? I bought this lot from Dibdit. Dibdit is the Commonwealth Picker, ADH Dave, American Arbitrage version of Whatnot. They have live selling on there. They have static selling as well. I have had little luck with buying things on there. So Whatnot is very difficult to source from. I think Dibdit is even harder because there's a set of fans on there that will just bid based off of the person that is selling, not necessarily the item. And that happens on Whatnot too, don't get me wrong. There are definite, I just saw, for example, I was watching a storage unit auction. The category was storage unit auctions, basically. I think that's the Whatnot catch-all for if you have a little bit of everything that you're selling. They call it the storage unit auction category. But this mother and daughter combo on there, really nice folks. I hadn't watched them before, but they were selling this little, basically, anti-aging serum. And the daughter was on there talking about how great it was. It was such a really high-end product. It was brand new, sealed, and you gotta get in on this product. And it ended up selling for like $21 plus shipping. Well, I looked it up, and that can sell regularly on eBay for $15 free shipping. So that's the kind of thing you got to watch out for. All this to say, don't be like me. Be very, very careful if you're sourcing on Whatnot or Dibdit, but especially on Dibdit, because things like this get bid up, and me just wanting to be kind of a fan and whatnot, I paid, I think, well, hold on, let me tell you exactly what I paid for this. I paid $15 for these. I included shipping. It's this lot right here. These are vintage Halloween masks, set of 4. Now there were a couple others in here. There was two of them that I sold for like $15 free shipping, and then another one that's listed. So all told, I spent $15 on all of these, and including, so I've made, let's say, $10 already. These sold for $15 plus shipping, and I'll be honest, I'm surprised they even sold. I don't know why I bought them. They're all in horrible, horrible condition. Every single one of them, except for maybe this one, has condition problems. So, bad buy alert. I should have a sound effect for bad buy alerts, because sometimes they come up more than I want. So maybe I'll try and find one, like an alarm going off. Bad buy alert. That sounds fun. Let's do that. I mean, I will make a tiny profit off of it. I know I've had some good success buying things off of Whatnot. None on Dibdit, but I don't think I would ever recommend sourcing on those platforms. I finally sold, or maybe not finally, but I did sell a G.I. Joe lot for $10 plus shipping. So this will essentially pay for my entire purchase, and everything else from here on out is profit, although, with fees and everything, we're not quite there. I'll show you a picture of it because it's in the plastic. This is what it looks like there. It looks great, huh? G.I. Joe 1987 Battle Force 2000 Vector jet parts. Some parts of the wings, or the tail, the canopy, some missiles. I had this listed for $15. Somebody offered me $10, and I went ahead and took it. I mean, it's still pretty early, but I think that G.I. Joe buy was kind of a bust. Should we do it again? The bad buy alert already? Not yet. Not yet, because I still have a ton of listed inventory that hasn't sold yet, probably like around $150 worth. So it could be a really good buy. It's just going to be slow. Maybe non-existent. I don't know. Here's a really good buy. These do exist. I'm not horrible. All of you new watchers out there, you new viewers, most of my purchases are good. Just starting off with two not great ones. This is a baseball bat, an Axe, Elite One Axe kids baseball bat. It's a drop 8. Picked this up for $3.99. Not that long ago, probably a month, less than that. And it sold for $34.99 plus shipping. Shipped that out in a 48 by 4 by 4 box. Put a little bubble wrap on the bottom. Put a little paper on the top. Probably cut about, well, this bat is only 31 inches long, so we can probably cut about 10 inches at least off of that box, which will really can help with the shipping cost on a lot of these things. For me, I almost always ship these UPS. Yesterday I shipped one FedEx ground. I shipped a golf club. This one's going to Anaheim, California, so there is a chance I might be able to get away with shipping it via the post office, which is always preferred because most of my packages I ship via USPS, so I don't want to have to take 2 trips, one to the post office, one to UPS. The post office is a 30-second drive from my house. UPS is like a 10-minute drive each way, so definitely would prefer to send that via the post office. Let's get into the interesting story, and it's also going to be the sale of the day. A long time ago, it might have been last summer, it might have been the summer before. I was at a garage sale, and somebody was selling some used soccer jerseys. I believe the big soccer fanatics, I think they're actually called kits, is another way to describe them. Well, I had one of them that I was taking pictures of. It was a decent one. It's from a European club called AC Roma. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of them. Not a soccer fan really at all. There's a local team that plays in the MLS called the Portland Timbers. I have been to one game of theirs. I follow them a little bit via the scores, but I don't really pay attention. Anyway, this is the jersey right here. I looked it up. That's what it looks like right there. Back looks like that. This is specifically the 3rd jersey. So I guess they probably have a home jersey, an away jersey, and then this jersey they wear every now and then called the 3rd jersey. There were a couple of these that had sold from, they were sold from or in Europe somewhere. I want to say Germany, not positive, for like over $200. There were also others that had sold for like right around $30 to $50. So I went ahead and listed mine for $49.99, just figuring whatever. By the way, I paid $1 for each of these, so we're not talking minimal expense. I was like $1 into 50. That's okay. It's great. Perfectly fine with that. Almost immediately, I get a message, somebody asking me what the style code is. And I put it in this bag, one of these bags here, and to be honest, I didn't really feel like taking the time to open it up and look for the style code, so I didn't respond right away. And I was thinking to myself, I might not even respond at all. Ended up, within about 5 minutes, I got another message from somebody else asking me what the style code was. So, ding, 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 finally, that made something go off in my brain that, wow, there must be something specifically important about the style code. And I thought, well, maybe that's why some of these are more expensive than others. Turns out, yeah, indeed. There's one version, I don't know why, they're both Nike as near as I can tell. One of them is made in Thailand, this one's made in Indonesia. This one that's made in Indonesia appears to be the proper style. Well, it's not appears to be. It is the style code that happens to be much more valuable. I guess it's better quality. I don't know. Anyway, I confirmed by searching for this jersey, solds of this jersey with that style code. They all were selling for much, much higher than the $50. So I went ahead and ended that listing. And well, actually, while I was doing the research, I ended the listing because I didn't want somebody to buy it in case it was in fact worth more. I relisted it for $150. Within 20 minutes, somebody sent me an offer for $100. And then I waited. I decided, I'm getting a lot of activity. I'm going to wait about an hour to see if I get any other offers. I didn't, and I went ahead and accepted the offer for $100 on this jersey. Again, I spent $1 on it, so I was going to be happy to get 50. So I probably could have got more. I probably could have got closer to the 150. But I'm just like, you know what? Let somebody have a good deal. Paid $1, made $100 off of it. Pay it forward, right? Spread around a little bit of goodwill. We don't always need to make top dollar off of everyone. So but that was crazy. I've never had that happen where, I know for a fact there are times where I have posted something, listed something, and I greatly underpriced it. I know for a fact that has happened. It's just a reality. I'm not a perfect researcher when it comes to comping items. But I've never had one that, thankfully, I hid enough of the information so that potential buyers needed to ask for clarification, so that I had the opportunity to do a little bit more research. And thankfully, in this case, I doubled the money that I could have, or that I would have gotten if I had just left it for sale at $50. And maybe the $50 one might not have ever sold at all because, for whatever reason, this little bit nicer version obviously sold super fast and for good money. Anyway, that was fun. It's fun when those things happen. It really makes up for a lot of the annoying questions and things that we get along the way. Speaking of annoying questions, this wasn't an annoying question. It was a question that made me realize I did something annoying, which is I've had this pair of American Eagle jeans listed for a long, long time. They're not great sellers to begin with. Anyway, maybe they're a good seller, but it's not worth a ton of money. I had them listed for like $25. It's been on sale. I've had them listed for at least 90 days because they're in my 25% sale. Well, I had somebody message me and said, hey, could you send a picture of the front of the pants? And I'm like, well, just look at the listing. No, lo and behold, I had only attached one picture on this listing, and it was just the back of the jeans. I don't know how that happens. I usually take at least 6, maybe sometimes 10 pictures for a pair of jeans. Somehow, when I was creating this listing, I only added one picture, so that is almost for sure why those pants have not sold. So I need to grab those out and actually take real pictures again and just end that listing and relist them all together. It's funny how that happens, but it was very nice that the buyer messaged asking for more photos. Because, it's hard to sell an item when you only have one partial photo listed on there. By the way, this was not the sale of the day. There is something that's an even better sale, so stick around and we'll get that, share that one here. But next I want to show, I had a little come to Jesus moment with myself again yesterday when I was listing some clothing items. I decided I was going to list 5 clothing items for the day because I come across this section in my death pile of older clothes that I sourced quite some time ago that I just hadn't listed yet. And I found some really good stuff, including that jersey. There were a couple other things in there as well. And this was $5, so I certainly know why I was excited to potentially source it. Although I did actually source it. Well, you can just see here, it is a Harley Davidson women's shirt. Got this cool graphic on the back. Nice color. Just a fun shirt. And only $5. I figured I could probably sell this for $20. So I bought it and threw it in my death pile. And then I went to list it yesterday. So I had it laid out nicely on my table over here, my lay flat, which is how I list my clothes. So I'm on here, I have it, my lights on, everything's laid out, and I start to look closely on here, and I'm just like, what in the world was I thinking? I'm sharing this with you so that you can learn from my mistakes. But right here, I don't know for sure if this is going to come through on the camera, but let me tell you, in person, it is very clear. We have got very solid pit stains right there. And then on the collar, very solid collar ring around the collar, as they used to say back in the commercials in the 80s. I think there might even be, now that I look at it, there's a big stain right here. Please, when you are buying things like this, don't be like the me of 9 months ago. This wasn't that long ago that I sourced this. No more than probably a year, I would say. But I've learned a lot since then. I'm so conditioned to look, especially when I'm going through shirts, look at the tag, look at the price. I saw Harley Davidson, I saw $5, and then I stopped, and I just put it in my cart. But you gotta look for holes, you gotta look for dirt, stains, condition issues. Don't be like me. So that was one thing, but no, I am not done. I had one more issue. By the way, this, I thought to myself, I could redonate this, right? No, this is going in the garbage. This is gross. It's just disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's just too used. We all have potential pit stains and ring around the collar, right? It's not disgusting. It's just not something that somebody's probably going to want to buy. This one I bought at least 18 months ago. It was almost 2 years ago, okay? So this is when I was just starting to get into more clothing reselling. This one was really bad. All right, we got ourselves a Brooks Brothers merino wool sweater. It was only $5.90. Well, it's not coming through. You just have to trust me. It's $5.99. I bought this at the Salvation Army up in Seattle. Brooks Brothers is a okay resale brand. Merino wool is a very good fabric. And it was cheap. So I'm like, all right, sure. I know I looked this up. I comped it. The South Korea on it was decent. I bought it, obviously, because here it is. But look at this. Look at this. Missing a button right off the bat. Anything that's missing a button, not worth buying. Unless it's some high-end cashmere or something that'd be worth like $100. And we have little things. Very obvious snag right there. That is a snag and a hole. Got a hole right over here. Big giant hole right over here. Like this might be a moth hole. Oh, Chris. There's probably a bunch of stuff on the back too. Also going straight in the garbage. I'm showing you what I'm only comfortable showing these to you because I can tell you, oh, I bought these a long time ago. I'm better. I mean, I still make mistakes, but the real reason I'm showing you is just don't be like the old version of me. Check the tag, check the price, check the condition. There's got to be, it's a 3-point check at least, right? It's like a 3-legged stool. If you don't have those 3 things, on top of the fact that it's got to have a good sell-through rate and all that jazz, maybe that's a 4-legged stool. Brand, price, condition, sell-through rate. If one of those legs are not solid, your whole stool can come tumbling down and it ends up in the trash. Don't be like me. Let's talk about the Poshmark sale. I'm sure I paid more than I would have liked to. Well, according to this, I didn't put the purchase price in here, so, which is not accurate, obviously, or not obviously, but I did not get these for free. I can almost guarantee. It's a pair of Prana jeans, and what in the world is making noise in there? I have those old bowls that I need to probably get rid of. Anyway, these sold on Poshmark for $20 plus shipping. But yeah, I just unfortunately don't have any memory of what I paid for these, and apparently I did not do a good job of bookkeeping on this one. I only had them listed for $23 originally, so I am hoping that I didn't spend more than $8 on them. There's a nice pair of straight leg Prana jeans. Is there something in the pocket here? What is that? Something crispy in here. Oh, it's just a label. I'm having one of those days where I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things, I'm feeling things. Anyway, $20 on that. Let's say I spent $8. Not a great profit. I'm starting to realize I've seen people that sell nothing but jeans. And I know that they can make good money off of it. There's this one person I follow on YouTube, and her husband, they gross $300,000 of sales per year just off of jeans. So I know it's possible, but I'm growing less and less interested in sourcing these because the prices around here are just so high to begin with. If I was buying these jeans for like $3 to $5, I would be totally down with it. But when you have to spend $8, $10, $12, there are not very many of them that are worth it. So I'm starting to question some of the things that I'm buying. I mean, if the sell-through rate is great, sure. You know, if you're looking at a over 100% sell-through rate, yes, I will buy something for $8, sell it for $20, and make $8 because you are destined to almost, as long as it's in good condition, you're almost assured that you're going to make good money off of it. But some of these jeans, if it's like a 50% sell-through rate, no. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I already forgot where this item was listed. Not listed. Stored. Box 19. Well, that's not good because I was just in box 19 and I didn't see them. Looking for some vintage doorknobs. They were literally right in front of me. Bought this random box of gadgets and gewgaws. Does anyone else say gewgaws? I say that every now and then. I'm like, who says gewgaws? I think I might be the only one. I actually bought them specifically for these things. There was something else in there. Oh yeah, it was the flower frogs. So I bought this box of gewgaws for these antique doorknobs. These were worth something, but not nearly as much as the flower frogs were. So anyway, spent $2 on this. This is probably the coolest thing. It's one of those old crystal doorknobs. Just one of them though. I hope if I actually showed it in the camera. And there's this painted doorknob, and then this just random little guy. Anyway, $14.95 plus shipping on those. Those have been listed for a long time. Probably a year. But at least I made some money off them. $2 and $14.95. Factor crap. People who live well past their 70s are usually married women with children living in a close-knit family group. People who live well past their 70s are usually married women with children living in a close-knit family group. That's kind of a... Yes, it's fact, but isn't that the majority of people? I lied. Or I didn't lie, but it's crap. Let's read... This is weird. Let's read this again. People who live well past their 70s are usually married women with children living in a close-knit family group. Fact or crap? The answer is crap, and it says... No, nuns hold the record for general longevity, many becoming centenarians. Did it say who lives the longest? No, it just says people who live well past their 70s are usually married women. I say this fact or crap is crap. Jeez. All right, one more. In 1840, Abraham Lincoln, then a state legislator in Illinois, jumped out of a window to prevent a quorum, the minimum number of legislators required to be present for a vote to take place. So, did Abraham Lincoln become a bit of a spy and jump out of a window so there wasn't enough people to hold a vote? I'm going to say fact. That sounds like good old Abraham, wouldn't you say? Fact! Lincoln's reputation grew by leaps and bounds. Hey-o! Alright, fact or crap? That one, I'm giving you a solid C- for today. That was not that great. Speaking of pants. I got a pair of Carhartt. These are okay. I remember these now. I was at my favorite thrift store, and I found a pair of Carhartt, like, chino pants, khaki pants. And they were only $3.99, and they were in perfectly fine condition. So I said to myself, why in the world are they only $3.99? Well, they're not that valuable, but there was still a decent profit. I had them listed for, they ended up in my sale, sold for $14.21. They look like khaki chinos. Here they are right here. It does have the little Carhartt square on the back. Not super valuable, but $4 into $14.21 plus shipping. Kind of had a little bit of a boom or a bust day. A lot of low dollar items. 15, 15, 20, 15, 10. And we've had this one good bat here. It was more than that. We've had the soccer jersey, which was $100. And then the big sale of the day. I showed these off a while in the past. My dog is barking to get in, and my wife is gone, so I've got to go let them in. I saved the day. I let them in. Before we pull this item, I want to thank the PDX Posse member, HarleyGal143, and all of you that watch and have subscribed to my channel. If you do like this kind of content, where I just go over what has sold for me and talk a little bit about my reselling journey, what's working, what's not, give me a follow or a subscribe, and also like this video. I really paid up on these. I bought 2 of them for $59.99 each at a thrift store. Guess what the thrift store was? Goodwill. Can you believe it? They charged that much for these. Well, that's okay, because this sold for $150 plus shipping. It is a, well, let me show you what it is. There's a brand called Skepschult, and this is a cast iron little casserole pot. It's brand new in the box here. Originally $179 new. It's the Yarn or Jarn. This is a Swedish company. I don't know how to pronounce that in Swedish. J-A with 2 dots above it, R-N. That's basically what it looks like. $150 plus shipping. So I spent $120 on both of them. This puts me into the profit. So when the other one sells, which I have listed for $180, that will be all profit. I'm hoping that will sell sooner than later. This didn't take that long. Maybe 6 weeks or so to sell. So that's not too bad. There's not a lot of these particular ones. This Skepschult is a somewhat common. Well, I think there are only 50 total listed. So apparently, though, it's a very high-end Swedish cast iron pan. So if you happen to come across them, certainly pick them up. They're inexpensive anyway, because they can sell really well. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. As I mentioned before, please like this video if you did, and subscribe to this channel if you want to get more content like this. Good luck with everything out there, reselling ventures or not. We'll catch you on the next video, so take care. Bye-bye.